everyone, and welcome back to Wrestling Review. And now it's time to review Gunther vs. Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship on Saturday night's main event. And man, this overall was a pretty damn good match. And let's get started. Jey Uso comes out to the match from the crowd, people chanting, "Yeet, yeet, yeet." Jey Uso with the sunglasses on. He's certainly billed as a baby face, and he's certainly billed as a guy who's an entertainer for his fans. Contrastingly, Gunther comes out. Man, that music that Gunther has captures the serious nature and serious personality of Gunther perfectly. He comes out, bang, bang, bang. That music, that beat, it captures Gunther. Gunther means business, and that's a high tempo song. And man, that music captures Gunther perfectly. And the way the camera looked up at Gunther's face from a low angle up at Gunther, man, that was a perfect angle to capture Gunther. A wrestler who means business, a world champion who means business, and that camera angle that captured Gunther, man, that they know how to position the camera. This team of new WWE producers. That said, not to knock the other producers either, but man, that was just the right angle to capture Gunther. Definitely right there, capture him. He just walks out to the ring, straight, intimidating face, and man, just that entrance alone, if you just show me that entrance, I would say, hey, that guy's destined to be a world champion. That guy's destined to be one of the top heels, maybe the top heel in the WWE. And I don't think I've ever been more impressed with Gunther as a heel than this program with Jey Uso and this match. Man, and so much of the storytelling was done. And as as Gunther comes out to the ring, Michael Cole reiterated what I said in my video, why Jey and Gunther's feud is an excellent booking. And what did I say? Well, Michael Cole said, could there be any more polar opposites in WWE? And that's what I said in my video about why this feud between Jey and Gunther is so right, it's so perfect, it's so excellent. And Michael Cole continues, Gunther, the ring general, the reigning king of the ring, the world champion. He's the old school throwback grappler. Meanwhile, main event Jey Uso, great tag team champion, former intercontinental champion, but he's an entertainer. You saw the way he entered the arena. He loves to have fun, and then bang, out of nowhere, Gunther kicks Jey in the skull as Jey was handing his sunglasses to a young fan outside the ring, and man, that kick really encapsulated what Michael Cole was saying. Michael Cole was saying how Jey's all about the audience and about being for the fans. Gunther called him a mascot to the fans, and as Jey was being at one with the fans, interacting with the fans, the bell rang. Gunther doesn't care. Gunther's just there to mean business, and Gunther kicked Jey right in the skull to start that match. And this match was intense, and it started off in a very intense manner. Those hard chops to Gunther. Gunther and Jey exchange those hard chops, and you could hear the sound of skin on skin, skin on flesh, beating each other away with those hard, brutal chops. Anyone who says WWE's fake, well, that no fake when you're getting smacked in the chest with a big, big, strong forearm. And Pat McAfee said those chops are so punishing from this man Gunther. And yeah, they sound punishing, and they sound pretty damn punishing from Jey Uso as well. And man, this match it was quite a fast-paced match. It was a high-tempo match, and there wasn't much on the mat. There wasn't much lying down. There was just high-tempo, pretty big moves. Starting out that brawl with those hard chops. And then, let's get towards the end of the match now. Jey Uso sits up Gunther on the turnbuckle and then hits him with a powerful and very impressive sit-down powerbomb. 1, 2. Gunther kicks out. Then they rise to their feet. They both rise to their feet. Gunther kicks Jey Uso in the midsection. Gunther then grabs Jey Uso, sets him up for a power bomb. But at the very top of the power bomb, Jey Uso reverses into a very impressive Hurricane Rana. He then runs towards the ropes and then bounces off the rope, springboard into a spear, springboard spear. 1, 2, 2.5, 2.5. Pat McAfee says, man, we were this close to Jey Uso becoming the next world heavyweight champion. And now, man, at that point, I literally thought that they might go with Jey Uso as world champion. I mean, I think I'm a big fan of Gunther, and I think Gunther deserves to be champion. And I don't think Jey Uso deserves to be champion right now. But man, I literally thought maybe they're just gonna do something else with Gunther at WrestleMania. Maybe they're gonna, hey, maybe Brock Lesnar is gonna come back, and maybe they want Gunther to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, or maybe they got some other plans for Gunther, or maybe they want to have Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns for the title at WrestleMania. By the way, I explained in my previous video, which you can find attached to the end of this video, why I don't believe Brock Lesnar is coming back anytime. Anytime. He's probably never coming back. But if Brock Lesnar was to come back, the Royal Rumble this year would be a good time for Brock Lesnar to come back. It was probably the perfect time for Brock Lesnar to come back if Brock Lesnar doesn't have a problem with coming back. But I've explained my reasoning why I strongly believe, and the evidence that supports this, why I don't believe Brock Lesnar is coming back at the Royal Rumble, why he's not coming, he's probably never coming back. So you can check out that video. But it if for some reason Brock Lesnar does come back, it's a prediction, but it's possible Brock Lesnar will come back. But if Brock Lesnar was to come back, which I find incredibly unlikely, but if Brock Lesnar was to come back, the Royal Rumble would be the place to do it. And I think Brock Lesnar facing Gunther at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight title would be the match to book, and would be a match I would love to look forward to. I would love to review that match, even though unfortunately I don't think Brock Lesnar is coming back, and I've laid out my reasons why, which you can find linked at the end of this video. Anyhow, I thought maybe Gunther might lose the title, and maybe Gunther will face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, which is another very good booking idea. But we'll continue on. So anyway, Jey Uso Hurricane Ranas, and then follows up with a spear. 1, 2, 2.5 count. He seemed so close to a title, and this was a good false fall, a good false finisher. And then, man, what happens next? Jey Uso super kicks Gunther as he gets up. He then follows up with a spear. Jey Uso then gets up onto the turnbuckle, and then he does a frog splash, an Uso splash off that turnbuckle. Man, the crowd's erupting as Jey Uso is up on that turnbuckle. Down on there, 1, 2, and the announcers can't believe it. The announcer can't believe it, and I couldn't believe it. Man, at this point in time, after these series of moves, 1, 2 spears, a Hurricane Rana, a super kick, two false finishes that almost ended the match, and that series of moves, that spear, the super kick, then the spear, and then the Uso splash, and then 1, 2, 2.5. I thought that moment, I literally thought that Jey Uso was almost guaranteed to be champion at that point. I'm glad he's not champion, but I thought that was an incredible false finisher, and I almost couldn't believe that Jey Uso could throw so much at Gunther, and Gunther could get out of it. Now you started to make Jey Uso's finishing moves look like donuts. Like, man, you hit this many moves, but certainly you booked Gunther as a very strong and very unbeatable man with that many moves. Jey Uso threw his best at Gunther, and Gunther, he couldn't pin Gunther for the title. Jey Uso goes for another spear, but Gunther catches him, reverses, hits him with the power bomb. He keeps his arms wrapped around Jey Uso's upper body, then hits him with a second power bomb. 1, 2, 3, and then Gunther, victorious, remains the World Heavyweight Champion. And man, that was a good match, and I'd probably rate that match an 8 out of 10. But because of the suspension of disbelief, because of the fact that they made me believe that Jey Uso was going to become champion, was very likely going to become champion with those series of moves, with that finisher, with those series of spears, super kicks, Hurricane Ranas. He threw everything at Gunther he had, but Gunther remained. Gunther eviscerated everything Jey threw at him. And this made Gunther look very strong. You could say it made Jey look a little weak. The fact that he threw everything at Gunther, but Gunther still beat him. But you could also say that, hey, this is kind of like a Stone Cold Steve Austin Bret Hart moment. Stone Cold Steve Austin lost to Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13, but he had blood all over his face. He didn't tap out. He passed out, blood all over his face. He basically became a star in that match for becoming, for being the underdog against a bigger man, a greater guy, Bret the Hitman Hart at the time. And here, Jey Uso, he threw everything he had and he still come up short. But I think it was the right booking decision to have Jey Uso not be champion now, but he came so close. I think he's gained a lot of support and extra fans, and certainly the Yeet fans are certainly going to be very happy with this performance and very enthusiastic about Jey Uso becoming champion. And this presentation, this music, this Yeet Yeet Yeet. While I'm personally not a fan of this presentation, I think a lot of fans are, and I think after this almost becoming champion, I definitely think WWE have plans for Jey Uso to become champion at some time. I don't think it'll be this WrestleMania. I don't think Jey Uso is going to win the Royal Rumble, although it's a possibility the way Jey Uso was booked in this match. Maybe he will win the Royal Rumble and face Gunther at WrestleMania. As I said, I don't believe Brock Lesnar's coming back, so I'm not entirely sure where Gunther's going to be facing at WrestleMania. However, it's very possible that Jey Uso may win the Royal Rumble and face Gunther, because this if you want to book the Yeet guy, Jey Uso as a champion and propel him into the spotlight, him facing Gunther at WrestleMania would be the way to do it. That being said, I think I've had enough of the Yeet storyline and the Yeeting. I'm not sure there's much more in it. And maybe Jey will get his chance to become champion, but I think he needs more time to to develop his character and do a little more than just be a party freak. Just do something else and develop your promos. I don't think his promos are quite up there, but this is definitely the best match that Jey Uso has ever had. And I guess my ideal opponent, let's just talk about booking for Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. I guess at this point it's almost certain that Gunther's going to be champion going into WrestleMania after that victory. I mean, let's just be realistic. Brock Lesnar would be the ideal opponent for Gunther, but as I said, Brock Lesnar is probably never coming back. So if it's not going to be Brock Lesnar, who's it going to be? I don't think it's going to be Cody because Cody's the champ. Of course, if Cody loses against Kevin Owens and wins the Royal Rumble, Cody could face Gunther, which would be an excellent match. So I'm not sure who is going to face Gunther. I mean, it might be Braun Breaker, who had a very victory here tonight at Saturday Night's main event. Braun Breaker looks like a very impressive man. Maybe it'll be Penta. I mean, Penta. It might be a little bit early for Penta, so that's unlikely. So I'm not sure who they're booking for Gunther. And part of the reason I'm not sure who they're booking for Gunther is that, well, we'll talk about my other Royal Rumble predictions. I will release a video later this week on my predictions for the Royal Rumble, and we'll talk about and the Royal Rumble predictions obviously goes in hand with the WrestleMania booking. So I'll talk about those predictions later this week. So stay tuned to Wrestling Review. And overall, this match would be a 9 out of 10. I would probably rate it an 8 out of 10 because I don't think the match itself was very spectacular. But I did think there were a good false finishes where you literally thought Jey Uso, they're going to put Jey Uso over and give him the championship. So that suspension of disbelief, that suspense that they added to this match, I'll give that from an 8 to a 9 out of 10 for this match because you literally did think that they were going to put Jey Uso over and give him the championship. Ultimately, I think it's better for Gunther and I think it's better for Jey that Jey's not champion right now because I don't think Jey Uso has quite earned it be champion right now, especially against Gunther, who's a very impressive man. And if you're gonna beat Gunther, you might as well beat the man Gunther at WrestleMania. So that's all for the video. See you later in the week.